Welcome back, guys and girls. Today we're going to be talking about the complexity of leveling within Inquisitor Martyr, having the two different experience types, having the two different experience bars, and, well, perhaps what we could look forward to in the future. Now, before we get started in the video, remember to like it if you liked it, remember to dislike it if you disliked it, and remember to click the little bell down below, so if I make any new content, you're not going to miss anything. Right, so I hope you like the new intro. What we're going to be doing is having, hopefully, a new one every week, and I'd like to aim for about 20 to 30 different intros with different enemies and some different sound effects as we go, but that's something for me to work at along the way. Again, anyone that's new here, welcome back. It's Airsick Hydra here, and we are talking about Inquisitor Martyr from a development point of view today. We're doing a discussion/feedback video on the complexity of the game. So what I'm going to do to begin with is just make sure we're all on the same page by just defining what we have at the moment and then what the developers have said is going to change. So currently we have two experience types and two experience bars. We have Inquisitor rank, which governs your item drops, item equips, and item unlocks. Then we have character, which is, or rather account level, sorry, which is just your total amount of skill points. So the reason for these two different systems, I believe, the reason they are here is to allow them to have a system which they're going to then delete. So let me just clarify what I mean by that. So the system currently is that through daily quests and other such mechanics, we have a boost to short-term sessions and diminishing returns to long sessions for the Inquisitor rank. So it sort of is an inbuilt balancing feature within the game at the moment. Now, before anyone says anything on that matter, the developers have said they're doing away with daily quests because they don't like this type of system, although it was a sort of a fairly torn argument within the developers. Having had a meeting on this, I think they are deleting this because they want to have a clearer ratio between time invested and progress gained. Which makes sense because many games will give you that, especially many ARPGs. It's more MMOs that do sort of the short-term benefit, long-term diminishing return type scenario. So they're doing away with that. But we still have, or rather it still appears that we're going to have two experience types and two experience bars. And what I want to propose today, well, I just want to ask some questions as to could we make this simpler? Because at the moment, I have to say, the system has advantages, but I currently do actually think they are outweighed by the complexity of the system. So again, the advantage of having these two different areas, one of them of which is that you can have two different graphs for progression. But the developers have said they want to aim for a 1-to-1 ratio, and they want to make the graphs both sort of similar. With that being said, why can't we just go back to one experience type in the future? And I'm going to say here, guys, I don't know what the next progression type is going to be. I've not talked to the developers what they're going to do in November to change this. But if they're doing away with these two different graphs, why can't we just have the same experience type leveling for both? A bit like we did for the last system. And while those numbers needed balancing, I feel like it was a much simpler system. I do like the power rating for the weapons. I think that's a nice touch. The way we progress through, pick up new gear, I like it. Now, there is one other sort of complexity here, because I do think we could combine these things into one. But then we have a system where the account level is transferable across characters and the Inquisitor rank is not. But. All you have to do is a similar like the previous. So if I get to rank 25 and 25, because these two things should be a 1-to-1 ratio, and I start a new character, then I'm rank 0 and 25. So I'll be 0 for rank and 25 with account level. Then all you have to do is just factor in the sort of the lower experience rates because you'll be a lower Inquisitor rank. And then eventually as you go up in the ranks and you get back up to 25 again, then you'll be gaining experience at the sort of standardized rate again. That's a completely fine way of doing it. And I think honestly that there is no reason not to have one experience type again, unless they really want progression to be tied to turret missions, unless they really feel like that is a core integral thing of the game. And personally, I think turret missions did quite well as a gearing up process and sort of a XP bonus even. I don't really think that there's anything to be gained from keeping the two experience types, but I'm going to go one step further today, and I'm going to rock the boat a little bit here and say, can we not just chuck the skill points back into Inquisitor rank? Can we not just combine this all into one thing again? Because really that's what a lot of players are going to be expecting. And even if you have one experience type and 2 different experience bars, most games will go about this in a very simple way of saying, okay, you've maxed out your Inquisitor rank, now your account level starts going up. And that's what Inquisitor Martyr used to have. It's what they used to have, and it was a fairly simple system, but the disadvantage of that was that you didn't start getting bonuses to your second character until you'd maxed out your first. So the advantage of this system is the account level can be leveled straight away, and yada yada yada. When you make a new character, even if you're not max level, you still get some benefits transfer over. But I can't help but feel that there's an easier way to do this, and I'm sure that there is. Again, I'm not telling the developers what to do. They have an idea of what they're doing. They know how to make games. I'm just a guy talking on YouTube. But I do feel that this could be simplified. We could just take the account level, take all of those skill points, shove them inside the Inquisitor rank again, and then just have a system a bit like the heroic deeds, where you have the skill points you've unlocked. You can just have them sort of apply to your second characters that way. And make one experience bar, one experience type, make it incredibly simple so players look at that number, they know what it means, they know how far that character is in the game, they know what equipment they can therefore equip, how good that equipment is going to be and how many skill points they are, which is wonderful. Maybe that would produce a system where people are just trying to group up with people of the same level, and that would be counterproductive to the power rating system because anyone can group up with anyone. If anyone's saying I'm going on a level 500 mission still, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Go on a mission with anyone. Whoever's hosting just hosts the difficulty. Rant aside, I really do think that this system could be boiled back down to bare bones again, and maybe there are other advantages that I'm not seeing here. Maybe there are other advantages that don't make sense, but I really think that you could just shovel the skill points back in the rank, and yes, okay, if you made a new character and you shoved those skill points in, you'd then have to ask yourself the question, because you don't have 2 bars anymore, is when is this character going to start getting skill points again, because they've already got the 25 as if they're a level 25, but they're playing as a level 0. Hopefully that made a little bit of sense. Let me repeat that one more time. If I make a new character and you've combined all of this into one, I'm going to have 25 skill points when I make my level 0 character. So at what point should I start getting more skill points again? Should it be when I hit level 25? Probably not. But should I be gaining nothing until then? Yeah, probably not. But should I be gaining them straight away? Probably not as well. So having 2 bars does make sense. But let me just throw this to you. This is a system that gives an advantage, a very big advantage, to making second and third characters. But this is in a game that doesn't necessarily say you need to make lots of characters. It's a game that actually encourages you to continually play with one character. And if you want to make another, that's fine. But do you need all of those skill points straight away? No, I don't personally think so. I think you could get some skill points. I think if I've got 50 on my max level character, I don't need to jump in a game with a Psyker at low level difficulty and have 50 skill points, because you're not necessarily making the leveling quicker, you're just making it dramatically easier. So I do wonder if this account level system's really needed. Can we not just have the heroic deeds transfer over and a lot of skill points from those? 16 skill points. Oh, sorry, that's skill branches. But if we just had some skill points in here from milestones we hit, I mean, heck, just add a bunch, like, for every 5 skill points or skill levels. I don't know, put 1 in here that transfers to other characters. I don't know, there's loads of ways of doing this, but I'm kind of feeling that the account level system, giving your second character a bonus to leveling, is coming at the cost of making the progress system within the game incredibly complicated. And at what advantage? Because if you're losing players because of the complexity of this system to begin with, then they're never even going to get to experience the advantage. That's how I feel about it anyway. It's not a bad system because it has benefits, but I feel like it is overly complicated for when someone first picks up this game. And it's quite alienating to explain to someone, to say, you know, oh, you've got to play and do this planet to get your Inquisitor rank up, and then you'll get better experience and you can get better gear, so then you can raise the difficulty so you can get account level experience at a high rate. It's not actually that complicated, it's just sort of upside down to what a lot of players expect it will be. So that's my thoughts. Guys, I want to know what you think down below. I've rambled a lot on this, and I hope you've got some ideas too. Do you think that the current system has some advantages you would like to keep? It's just my personal view the account level system comes with more disadvantages than advantages, and playing a new character with 50 skill points, yes, whilst it's kind of convenient to make a build, if the levelling system's going to be quicker through heroic deeds anyway, through some attribute points there, I'm totally fine with that, because you'll be getting the skill points fairly quickly anyway. They kind of said this is going to be more of an endgame focused game now, so if the levelling system is quicker, then do we even need the account level system to be as it is now? Guys, let me know what you think down in the comments below. This has been another ramble, and I'll see you next time.